Hey Foot Geeks fans, today we want to talk about the Altra Torin 5. Okay, one of the things that they've added this season to the Altra Torin is the leather version. So with the leather version, obviously is a beautiful, supple leather upper, quite soft on the top, which is going to keep your feet dry a little bit better in the wintertime, especially if you're using these for walking. Now there's a few features that we want to go over in this particular brand today and what makes Altra so special. One of the reasons obviously that we carry them is the fit of the product. You can see when you look at the bottom of the sole that this particular shoe has a very square toe box, right? So there's quite a bit of space around the toes, and this one here you can see does have the metatarsals as well as the metatarsal bones and the phalanges that are all kind of independently accented in the sole. So you can see when you're looking at this would be kind of your big toe joints, second, third, fourth, and fifth toe joints that are all individually indicated inside the sole profile itself. And then here you'd have the metatarsal bone. So it's kind of cool from a podorthic perspective to look at the bottom of the shoe because it looks like the skeletal structure of the foot. So it's really, really neat to see that there's a shoe that's very, very natural in terms of its foot shape, and that's going to give your toes a lot of room in the front. Now, one of the things to keep in mind, this is probably a medium to wide fitting, so the shoe itself, it will feel a little bit sloppy on a narrower foot, but there's different ways to tighten the shoe, and you can watch one of our other videos on how to tighten shoes that will help assist you in how to make this fit of the shoe a little bit better. Now there's a few features here. This is not the most structured heel counter, so this is not very, very firm. It does have a little bit of structure to it to kind of keep the foot from sliding off the base of the shoe, but at the same time it is like any kind of natural barefoot type shoe, a little bit less structured than the average shoe. It does have full contact on the bottom, so you can see there's no real spaces in the bottom, so your foot is going to be super, super grounded as you're walking with this particular shoe, and that makes a great product to use even with an orthotic if you want to kind of stabilize the foot in here a little bit more. But at the same time, obviously the idea of this is to kind of allow your foot to have full toe spread in the front and also prevent you from shifting too much weight onto the ball of the foot, because this particular shoe is a zero drop shoe. And what does zero drop mean? Zero drop means that the heel and the forefoot are the same thickness. Most running shoes will have a thicker heel and a thinner forefoot, which obviously provides more shock absorption as you're coming down on the heel. But in Altra, the purpose of the sole is to have your weight distribution even across the foot, which also prevents obviously tightening of the Achilles tendon as well as the calf muscle due to the added height of the heel, right? So those are some of the things to consider when you're getting into a shoe like this. If you have tightness in the calf muscle, or maybe you feel those muscles aren't ready for this, you'll have to maybe break this in slowly. You may even want to put a little bit of a heel lift in the back to prevent you from potentially tearing some of the tissues in the legs. So keep that in mind when you're looking at shoes like this, because they are going to be very, very different feeling from what you're used to. And when you're standing in this and you have tight muscles in the calf muscle, it will take a little bit of time to adjust for that, right? Otherwise, you may feel when you're in the store that as you're standing in a shoe like this, that you're almost kind of like leaning backwards, right? And that's because the tightness in the musculature is kind of causing your body to be pulled back. So it requires obviously some loosening off both the hamstrings and the calf muscles to help allow you to run and walk better in this type of shoe. This right here is the women's version. As you can see, it's got pink laces, a little bit of a greenish tint to it. And the men's version is a dark blue with a little bit of yellow on the side to show off that Altra logo. I know brands like to do that because obviously they want you to promote their product for them as you're walking down the street. Even though with this broad toe box, you might do that anyway because it's a kind of a unique looking shoe, right? It does have a removable insole, so you can see that the insole does come out of the shoe, and you can replace that with other arch supports if you like. So that is a possibility. The shoe itself is, more flexible than the average shoe. So it does have a little bit less structure. It's got that wringing type feel in here. You can wring it almost like a towel, which some medical professionals don't necessarily like. But as I said, because it does have a very flat sole profile, it does provide good contact under the arch, and that's sometimes a concern when the shoe is super floppy. If there's not full contact down here, it may cause your arch in the middle of the foot as you're transitioning through here to obviously collapse down and overstretch potentially the plantar fascia, which could lead to other problems, right? So that's one of the reasons why we usually want to have a structured shoe to provide more of that arch support. But because this shoe is very flat in here, I don't expect that to be a significant problem for the users as they're wearing this particular shoe. Now, if you have any questions regarding the Altra Torin, either leather, and the men's leather version looks just like this. I didn't bring out the men's size just because it's not a lot of space on this table. But if you have any questions regarding the Altra Torin, please don't hesitate to post those below. And if you haven't subscribed to us yet on YouTube for product reviews, or there are certain products you want us to take a look at and review for you, please subscribe to us on YouTube and contact us through the appropriate channels. Have a fantastic day.